Hey folks, it's Dre, Tattoo Squid Podcast, the host of Tattoo Squid Podcast. Um, our next lovely adventure going into is the 12 labors of Hercules. Hercules being the son of a god, well, stepson. Not real, well, he's a son of a god, but he's, well, you've seen the cartoon, you've seen the legendary journeys. But this is the 12 labors of Hercules, which is basically has Hera has placed a spell on him that make him go crazy, and that he killed his children. The higher council sees it, but not knowing that he was under a spell, and they want him to perform 12 labors. The 12 labors of Hercules is a myth about the labors that Hercules had to perform as part of the sentence after killing his own children. Being one of the offsprings of Zeus's affairs, Hercules has always been subject of Hera's hatred. Hera tried to kill Hercules many times throughout his adventures, or at the very least made everything in her power to torture him. It was one of those times when Hera made Hercules lose his mind temporarily, and Hercules killed his own children during this craze. After a short while, he was awakened from the state of madness and realized what he did. In great sorrow and regret, he sought guidance from Apollo and told by Apollo's oracle that his punishment would be serving his cousin. So these are the 12 things, but I'm going to try to describe it in without going into it. So the first labor is killing the Nebian lion. Nebian. I'm not good with the names, because these are outrageous freaking names that you can't. The first labor, Eurus, assigned Hercules to slay the Nebian lion and bring him back his skin. The lion was a powerful, very powerful beast born from Typhon and Ichna. Typhon, which I had mentioned in the previous uh, episode, where he has like 100 heads for hands and um, everything else. So it was a beast that could only be harmed by human hand, and no other weapon can hurt it. Hercules realized that the beast was invulnerable after shooting him with an arrow, and he went into the cave and the beast lived in, held his neck tight, and choked the lion to death. Hercules brought back the lion's skin to said guy and set on to fulfill his second task. And his second task would be the Lernian Hydra, no less, which has like 5 heads. The second labor given to Hercules was kill the 9, not 5, 9-headed Hydra. Taking his nephew Aeolus. Now, see, I didn't know that Aeolus was like a best friend, in the legendary journeys. But I didn't know it was his nephew, who was with him throughout many adventures. Hercules set on the journey to the lair of the Hydra. Hercules lured the Hydra out of by shooting it flaming arrows, and tried to capture it while the Hydra came out. Every time he smashed one of the Hydra's heads, he saw it was replaced by 2 heads. Hydra even had a fiend, a crab, biting Hercules in the foot during the struggle. Hercules called for his nephew's help, and Aeolus put fire on the hands on the hands of Hydra, where whenever Hercules cut off one, this seemed to do the trick, and Hercules got rid of the Hydra. So he goes on to the third task, capturing the Golden Hind. Now, the Hercules' legendary journey was the Golden Hind was half woman, half deer, I believe, and the blood of said Golden Hind can kill gods. That's from the TV series. So, seeing the Hercules was still alive after slaying both the lion and the Hydra, Hera and the guy with the E word took their time to think of more difficult tasks to give Hercules. This time, they assigned him to capture the enormous hind, which was known to be sacred to the goddess Artemis, Diana in Roman mythology. The hind was a special deer with golden horns and bronze hooves, and more importantly, it was sacred to the special pet of Artemis, meaning that Hercules could not kill or hunt the deer. Hercules chased the deer for a year, and when Cernentis, see, I'm not good with these names, was about to cross the river of Ladon and run away from him, Hercules shot the animal with an arrow. On the way back, carrying on his shoulders, Hercules met Apollo and Artemis. Being angry at him since he killed the sacred animal, Artemis was about to punish Hercules, but Hercules told him why he did it. Artemis healed the injured hind back to health, and Hercules carried back alive to the E guy. Fourth labor, capturing the oh God, these Greeks and their words. The boar. I'm just gonna say the boar. Yeah, because we're just gonna be. You can laugh at my mispronunciations of these words. The fourth labor of Hercules was to capture the boar, living on the mountain of Memphis. The boar was chasing down people and crushing and destroying everything in its way once he is out of his lair. Throughout his journey, Hercules had the misfortune of causing his centaur friend Holus death accidentally, while Hercules was chasing down some other centaurs after they had argument with him. Holus took one of the poisonous arrows that Hercules killed one of these centaurs with. The arrow slipped from his hand and fell on Holus' foot, instantly killing him there. After burying his friend, Hercules found out the boar and chased and trapped him. Once the animal get tired of running, and he brought the boar back to Cephas. Cleaning the Eugen stables. Sorry. As his fifth labor, Hercules was asked to clean the whole stables in which 1,000 healthy cattle lived and which were not cleared for more than 30 years. Oh, that's nasty. Other than being almost impossible to perform, they also wanted to humiliate Hercules by making him clean the feces of animals. The owner of the stables promised to reward Hercules with 1/10 of his stock if he managed to clean the stables in one day. As stated, Hercules performed the task successfully by changing the direction of the rivers of the Ephesus and Penis, however, did not fulfill his promise, ending the Hercules killing him. Hercules then left the stables to the sun. The sixth labor, defeating the birds. I'm just going to say the birds. Yeah. It's an S word. You can look it up. Hercules was asked by to defeat the birds in his sixth labor. These Flesh-eating birds had bronze beaks and metallic feathers. They are sacred to the god of war, Area, and their dung was poisonous. Well, their shit was poisonous. Hercules did not know that there was such a huge flock of these birds before he arrived at the lake. He did not know how to chase away these deadly birds. However, the goddess Athena came to help him. She gave Hercules some noise-making clappers named Crotala, which was created by the immortal craftsman Hephaestus, who also known as a god of the forge. Hercules completed his task by climbing on top of the mountain nearby, chasing the birds away by clashing the Crotala and shooting them with his bow and sometimes by his slingshot. The seventh labor capturing the Cretan bull. The seventh labor of Hercules was about to capture the Cretan bull, the animal which was believed to be the father of the Minotaur. As a punishment for not fulfilling his promise, Poseidon made Minos' wife, the queen of Creta, fell in love with the bull, and she gave birth to the Minotaur. The bull was destroying everything in its way throughout Cretan, and that is why Minos aided Hercules and performed this task. Once he arrived at Creta, Hercules sneaked behind the animal, trapped him, and sent him back to Athens. The eighth labor, stealing the Mars of Diomedes. Hercules was assigned to steal and bring back the mares, the horses, of Diomedes, the king of Triton tribe, the Chasian tribe, with the help of some volunteers. Hercules was able to drive the horses to the sea. However, Biston sent soldiers after him to get back the stolen horses. In order to be able to fight these soldiers, Hercules had to leave the horses to this person. After defeating the soldiers, Hercules learned that, oh my god, these names. I picked a difficult thing to go and talk about. But, alright. So basically, he had to steal these horses. And the horses, he had to go past. And later, Hercules found the horses and took them back to said place. So the ninth labor is he has to obtain a belt. Which, obtaining this belt, bring back the belt, the queen of the Amazon warriors, as his ninth labor. Hercules arrives to meet with some of his friends, and being impressed with his skills, was also convinced to give the belt. However, Hera was there under a disguise to cause hinder. Hercules says, and she spread rumors among the Amazons, suggesting that these strangers were there to kidnap the queen of Amazons. When Hercules saw the Amazon warriors coming in at him, he thought it was an evil scheme devised by the queen, and he killed and took the belt. He brought the belt back, who was shocked that he survived such an encounter with the Amazon warriors, sent him to perform this 10th labor for capturing the cattle. That's the 10th labor, capturing cattle. Hercules was asked of him to bring him the cattle belonging to the monster Geren. Geren was the son of Calliope, the daughter of the two titans, Oceanus and Tethys, who was the offspring of the Gorgon Medusa. He was a powerful monster with these 3 pair of legs and 3 heads. Not very long after Hercules reached the island where he lives, the servant Orpheus, brother of Cerberus, and the 2-headed hound attacked Hercules, and Hercules killed him, who came to Orpheus' help. And a herdsman witnessing these events let Geren know that Hercules did, and Geren found and attacked Hercules while he was about to run away with the cattle. Hercules killed him by shooting him with some arrows, returning the herd to Greece, and actually a more difficult task than stealing it. Hercules had to look for the animals missing from the herd for many times, but in the end he managed to bring the cattle back after a long struggle. Now there are two additional labors. Stealing the apple, which Hercules' 11th labor was one of the most difficult labors. He was assigned to wanted him to steal golden apples in the garden, which were being protected by Ladon, a dragon with 100 heads, and it stresses the nymphs who were daughters of Atlas. Atlas is the guy that's holding up uh, the world, basically, on its axis. When he was sent on his journey to steal the apples, Hercules did not even know where the garden was. He traveled to Egypt, Arabia, Libya, and Asia, during which he had to have many unpleasant encounters. But this is going to go on and on. So, in retrospect, he, as one of the rare points in the story where he used his wit instead of his physical power, Hercules faked to have agreed with this, and he tricked Atlas into having the earth and sky on his shoulders again. He told Atlas if he would be doing this instead of Atlas, he needed to put some soft padding on his shoulders and requested Atlas to have the earth and the sky upon his shoulders for a short time. While he was putting them on, when Atlas lifted the weight again on his shoulders, Hercules picked up the apples, ran away, and brought them back. The last labor is capturing Cerberus alive. As his final and most dangerous labor, Hercules was assigned to travel to the underworld, kidnap the beast named Cerberus, and bring him back. Cerberus was the beast guarding the entrance to the kingdom of Hades, and kept living creatures out of the world of the dead. He had 3 heads of wild hounds. He had snakes on the back of his body, and he had the tail of a dragon of a serpent. He was the son of a half-woman, half-serpent monster of Typhon, a giant with serpents and dragons all over his body who can breathe fire. Hercules traveled the underworld, and after defeating many monsters on the way, he found Hades, Pluto in Roman mythology, or Pluto in Disney. He has Hades, where Cerberus was at, and the god of the underworld said that he can actually take Cerberus with him if he can beat the beast just with his own brute power. Hercules found Cerberus at the gates of the river, and after a very nasty fight, was able to capture the beast and bring him back. Excuse me. For completing these impossible tasks, Hercules was rewarded by his father Zeus with immortality after his death. Hera was also finally forgave him and let him marry her daughter Hebe thereafter, which I didn't know about that. So that's the 12 labors, or the 12 tasks. Also, I had a dream a couple of nights ago, which was kind of actually weird, because my girlfriend brought up John Bon Jovi, which is the singer of Bon Jovi in the 80s band. I think they're still playing to this day, I think. So I had this dream, and yes, it was a dream with Bon Jovi in it, John Bon Jovi. But wait till you hear it. It's not what you think. So I had this dream. I was going to this bar. Now, I don't drink anymore, but apparently I had a dream I was going to a bar. So I go in this bar, and I go and get a drink. There's the it crowd of the bar, laying around, and, I was a weird kind of looking, because they never seen me have a whole bunch of tattoos, So they were kind of intrigued, and they were striking a conversation. I went to go and get more beer for them. And I asked this other bartender, and he comes out, and lo and behold, comes out as John Bon Jovi. Uh, and he was like a bartender. So John Bon Jovi has now like the full set of hair, but it's gray. Um, and me and the gang, having our drinks, and then I go back to get more. I don't see any bartender. I don't see John Bon Jovi. John. I don't see Bon Jovi. So I was also wondering. I'm like, okay, well, I have to go and take a leak. So do it like the manly way. You go out back and you just piss on the wall. And if you had to go and take a shit, you just go in the bathroom. But if you're just gonna piss, you piss on the wall. Um, Everybody else does. Um, so I go out there, piss on the wall. Hear like this gnawing and everything. I look, and it's like a half-eaten deer. Just like deer part here, deer part there, and there's John Bon Jovi. But he changed now. Looks like a werewolf. So he's just going and eating and blood dripping and everywhere else. And I was like, okay, and I go back in, figuring he didn't see me. I go in there, and there's John Bon Jovi behind the bar. He had like little red stuff on his mouth. Like remnants of. So didn't pay no mind to it. I'm like, all right, because I can pretty much control my dreams a little bit now. So I'm like, all right, we gonna have some more beer. I was like, shit, Then we had some food. What happens when you have some food? You have to go and do a number two. So I went to number dose. Went to the bathroom, and I'm like, what the hell's that smell? And I figured it is a bathroom. But lo and behold, I see blood on the floor, and that doesn't look good. So I actually opened the door. I opened the door, and there's the deer head, and then there's the deer body, like resting on the toilet. And then I woke up. I mean, the only weird part was John Bon Jovi being in the thing, and he was a werewolf. So that's what struck me odd. The whole bar scene didn't strike me odd. Even the dead deer in the back didn't strike me odd for some reason. But just John Bon Jovi being a werewolf, that struck me odd. Because he's a nice guy. Why would he be a werewolf? I don't know. But folks, that is. It might be a short one. It doesn't seem like probably a short one, but to me, it feels like a short one. Please give me a follow. Go to Linktree /Tattoo Squid Podcast. So you just go www.linktr.ee/capital T, I believe, A, number 2, SQUID, PODCAST. You'll see all the links and everything where you listen to your podcast, and then you can see this podcast on YouTube. Now, when you go to YouTube, like, subscribe, post a comment of what you want to see or what you want to hear. And also, if you're listening to this to any part of your, wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Spotify or any numerous different accounts, just go down to where I forget what it's called, the section where the episode journal, I guess, part area, and like, share, review, post a review on how you like this. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, all right, put it on there too. And that's about it. But But also, if you want merch, actually I got this shirt right here. So somebody uh, saying I can't. Um, I'm gonna put a different shirt up on there. I'm gonna try to add a new one. I got a new logo. It's Tattoo Squid Podcast with a you know like a dead arm hand, number two going like this, and instead of a number two, and there's a skull, and there's like the um, cemetery. And also, I want to post this on one where I want to make a shirt out of, because it doesn't really have a uh, any kind of stuff that would get compromised by other companies. You know what I mean? If I put down, like, say, like Dunkin' Donuts or something, or this, I can't really make a shirt out of it, because then they want proceeds or whatever. I mean, I don't know how it goes, but this one doesn't really have anything like that. So, uh, but it's just like an angry driver, a hellhound, myself. You see a little face in there, and a couple of chicken nuggets. Yeah. Um, I think it's a funny thing to make out of a shirt. So I want to put that out there. I'm going to try to make one too. Check it out. You can get shirts, sweatshirts, tank tops. Tank tops only go up to 2X. I don't know why it doesn't really, because I really want to get a tank top, and I'm like a 3X. Um, so I'm hoping, if you can buy some merch, because the money will help out tremendously. I also have a tip area on my Twitter account. Um, Tips can be is I don't know what the phrase is appreciated. Um, because I don't know, if you want to give a tip. I don't really don't know how to. I don't want to sound like I'm begging or asking, or just it's up to your prerogative what you want to do. All right, folks, take it easy. I will be going because I have to uh, get. Right now it's like 11:25. I had breakfast. Went to the doctor. I got to do stuff with the car tomorrow. I have to do stuff for my new job, which I'll start next week. Um, and I'll be leaving my old job during this week. So trying to do the continuation. We also got a new cat. Her name is Ruby. She's kind of scared. She's a outdoor cat. Not an outdoor cat, but she's like a street cat. My girlfriend's coworker had the cat, gave it all the shots. Um, her name is Ruby, and I think Ruby. When she said Ruby, I'm thinking supernatural Ruby. Like the demon Ruby. There's a blonde one and there's a brunette. The same, and the brunette is married to one of the Winchesters in real life. Um, but Ruby now is inhabiting our bathroom. So we got the cat litter in there. We got the scratching post with the playful thing, that you. Um, Got this. I bought this like twirly thing, so if we have it out and about, my dog won't go after it. What else? There's dry food, wet food, water, um, and those crackly thingies, that cats love. So, like I said, the cat's inhabiting the bathroom, but it's more underneath the sink. Um, I had an interaction with the cat, and the cat said meow, which was great. Didn't hear nothing. The first day that we had her, she was in our bedroom and she shit on her sheets, um, and pissed. So now she's going in a litter box and everything's good. Uh, What else does she do? So I got Meow, sort of little feet hanging out. Well, not little feet. She's a big cat. Girlfriend's like, oh no, she's a little cat. She's fucking huge. So not a Mancoon. I want to get a Mancoon, but um, just laying there, crouching in there, relaxing. She's eating, she has a stomach like, she's been a little fatty. Um, but like I said, I got the Meow. Told my girlfriend, you son of a bitch. Uh, so, but she went in there. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I don't know. Girlfriend goes to the bathroom, um, and sometimes my girlfriend gets scared a little bit too easily. But the cat came out of hiding, and all of a sudden she heard licking, and she went, and she tried not to scream, and she held it in, and she's like this, and then looked down, and plain as day, all cat eating, looked at her, give, you know, and she has a nice little face on her, I did not have the honor of seeing the cat, in full view. I did actually once. She was laying in a tub, but she had this crazed look in her. She went, you know. So, but that's when she was a little bit scared. But anyway, so slowly but surely, she's coming out of her shell, out of a furry show. So, anybody that loves cats and loves dogs, I love dogs. I'm starting to like cats again. Um, always go donate, not donate. I'm sorry, go and adopt. Take in a cat, take in a dog. Take in like a best friend, take in a gerbil, take in birds, whatever. What makes you think that you're gonna be okay with this certain animal? Um, I've grown up with dogs. When I was married, we had dogs and cats. Excuse me. I've been up since like 7:30. It's gonna be a long day. All right, folks. Let me get out of here before I bore you with my yawning and disarray of stuff. So, alrighty. Take it easy. Have a good day. It's Monday again. Um, so I bid you adieu and